Welcome to the Friday video, guys. I am here a little later today than normal, and I pretty much have 3 hours to do my SBD day, which is gonna be a force. But I was waiting all day for my new camera to come in. I have been working with the A6500 from Sony for a little while now, and it's a great camera, but with getting a G Master lens for Christmas from Daniela, I cannot justify using such a good lens on the 6500. So I placed an order for the A7R III, and it was supposed to come in today. It was out for delivery at 11, and I was sitting around all day waiting for it to come in, just justifying it by getting work done. Eventually it ended up not coming in, and by the time that I was sitting around and finally decided to call it, I had to come to the gym. So today, I'm a little bit under the weather. I woke up with a really sore throat this morning, but it doesn't matter because today is an exciting day of training. I have a top single on squat, then a back down triple, sets of 5, top double on bench, and I feel physically fantastic. I'm ready to get to work. I also, real quick, I'll be right back. Got the singlet for today because I have not put on a singlet with the vest belt for squats probably since like 2015, and I want to make sure that the notch that I wear it on is also comfortable when I have a singlet on over it. I feel a lot fresher than I have on my second squat day of the week coming into today, which is to be expected given that I'm doing it a day later than normal and volume was down in the beginning of this week. So I'm probably gonna stop at 584 on squat today, but my goal is just to make it move at an RP 6 or below. So I'm gonna put this on, we're gonna get to work. Ha! Weight feels a little heavy on my back, but once I come back up, it's moving. I'm wearing the singlet again because the notch that I'm usually on when I just wear a t-shirt feels good here, but obviously with the tightened singlet, with how much thicker it is than a t-shirt, it adds to it. So sometimes you get caught in between notches. Luckily, it feels pretty good. Next warm is going to be 551. And then we'll probably top it off at 584 today. I'm hoping moves no slower than an RP6. Feel good.
Call me, I can't get a text back. Cut deep, you saying fuck me, I'm saying fuck you. All you always a host. I could have another you by the morning. You can cuss up where I run it. I key could've made you bite. What's that? Video of women on my Snapchat. Only really trying to get away to see you.
Go, Sean! Alright, so you guys saw that 584 squat right there. I'm not super thrilled with how it moved, only because when I came out of the bottom, it kind of just jarred me a little bit, and my weight was shifting back and forth. But overall, the speed was actually there. Like, I'm very confident in just the fact that I've gotten significantly stronger because I definitely messed up that single, and it still moved pretty well. This is the heaviest I've touched since nationals. And like I decided, you know, I said to you guys I was gonna take 584. I decided before coming in today that, you know, it makes more sense to just take things slow these next couple of weeks and really try to build up. So I'm very happy with how that moved overall. Not super proud of like the execution, but it's a very hopeful indicator for the future. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move on to the triple at RP7 with 551 pounds. I usually do better at controlling the weight when I have multiple reps, so I'm hoping that this moves better and like indicates that had I shown the same control, that 584 would have moved better. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to be able to execute better on singles. That's ultimately what matters most. And then after that, I have 4 sets of 5 with 518, and then we're gonna move on to bench, which this top set today.
fingers to the police. Gonna never really never do what's wrong. I tried, and I came off the line. Now turning back, gonna never really never do what's try. That's fine. And I came off the line. Now turning back, gonna never really never do what's try. Only thing we ever had to do was try. I was breaking down bills and I was ready to rap. And I started with a man like damn nigga, what happened? I'ma keep testing my hands, fall and never see. Better keep my double cold, feel like it was killing me. I was sitting in the spot, I ain't never miss a beat. If I feel it right.
All right, guys, so you just saw the last set of 518. Like I've said in the past, when you come down from a top set, something just kind of switches off in your brain and it's hard to turn back on. So those sets felt super, super rough. Despite them moving pretty well, we're done with the 4x5 now. We're gonna move on to bench. I'm super fucking tired, but I'm warming up for bench right now, and this day is usually awesome. So what I'm gonna do is you guys are gonna see the last warm up of 440 pounds, and if that moves, I don't know, we might see a new double PR today on bench. So stay tuned, and I'm just gonna start warming up for bench. We gotta get out of here real soon. About an hour and a half left for bench and for deads. 3, 2, 1. That was sloppy.
Doing the recap.
All right, so that W you guys just saw, not super happy with. The first rep was solid. The second one was like pretty much a touch and go. There was not really any significant pause there. I'm not gonna show you my second time taking it because Nick almost let me die. I will make that move next week. It will move better. It's just heavy. It's just heavy. And I didn't pause. I didn't execute on that second one. But technically, I guess it is a double PR. I'm not gonna count it. I'm not happy with that. I gotta pause. I've been pausing really well. And I think I let the weight just kind of get up here and make me rush it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to triples. 407 pounds, it's currently 9:10, so I have 50 minutes to get these triples done, and then deadlift. So I'm gonna breeze through these next few triples. We're gonna move on to pulls, probably just gonna warm up by reds. Luckily, it's only 3 sets today, and they're super, super light. So I should be done by the time the gym closes. But so far, I'm really happy with the session. It's felt very productive. So I'm just gonna go make sure that I pause all these perfectly, and we'll be good.
I know that you were. Will you still love me when I'm no longer beautiful? I've seen love lit it
Have lipstick on my Hennessy. Felt like you took my soul from no way. I gave you all my ecstasy. I thought that you were meant for me. I know you'll be together me. Thought we were for eternity. You picked me up both physically and mentally. I can't believe I'm sipping in a I'm sipping in a I'm sipping in a Your love is suicidal. Your love is suicidal. To me, your love is suicidal. To me, your love is suicidal. You taught a lesson to me that I had to learn. And I'm so sorry cause you let our bridges burn. I said I loved you and I wish I never did. I swear to God,
All right, guys, so just did my first set with 529, and it felt really, really good. So for those of you who follow Ricky Cho, his Instagram is Pug the Goat. Some of you, I assume, probably also subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Do you want me to shut the door?
No, you're good, she'll be okay. Pug the Goat has his own YouTube channel. I haven't watched the video yet, but he released a video about thoracic rounding on deadlift. And I think that with sumo deadlift, unless you have outstanding leverages to keep a neutral spine and still be upright, I think pulling with a rounded back in the thoracic spine. All right, so back to what I was saying. Pulling with a rounded, and I don't even really mean fully rounded, just protracted scaps and really taking your rib cage back is super beneficial for a sumo deadlift. And I think it's really overstated how important having your scaps retracted and getting lat tightness is on the deadlift. I really don't think it's that important. And the reason I say that is that when you allow your rib cage to retract, which happens from allowing the scaps to protract, you can get a lot of posterior expansion and get a really complete brace when you do that. Another benefit of it is that it'll put you in a way more upright position and allow you to keep your lower back in a more neutral position because your arms will effectively be longer, right? If I'm getting down to the bar with this protracted scap position, I now have effectively longer arms versus if I try to do this. So when I grab the bar, I'll ultimately be more upright. And if you are bracing well, your abs, obliques, pelvis, this whole relationship takes care of that tightness off the floor. Your lats aren't going to do that. Your lats can't do that. Trying to brace from your lats is just, you're missing the mark. You're not understanding where the stability actually comes from. So if you actually are taking a proper brace, filling in air into that back of the rib cage, holding those abs and obliques down, that's where the stable starting position will come from. And now that leads to my next point about how people say, well, oh, if you have a shitty starting position, you'll have trouble at lockout. Having a starting position where you're rounded over like this doesn't lead to a bad lockout inherently. If you notice, and just anatomically in general, when you lock out a deadlift, you do not need to shove your chest out, protract the rib cage, and extend completely behind the bar. You need to just get behind the bar in terms of where your torso is at an angle relationship to the ground. You can lock out completely from a protracted scapula position, completely. I'm fully locked out in this position. So my rib cage position never needs to change. I can stay like this and lock out like this. I just have to rock myself back behind the bar. And this was something I was forgetting for a really long time while I was deadlifting, because one of the things that we were talking about with Ben and Jason was a tight lat, you know, sort of thing, just getting tightness in here. And I think I was too focused on trying to get a neutral spine despite knowing that, you know, all the information I've shared with you guys thus far. Also, I just got these straps. These are the straps I've used pretty much like my entire lifting career. I just got a new pair, the Iron Minds. I've tried all the straps people like, the Versas, the Figure 8s. I pull worse with them. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't have a grip issue, but these are the best to me. They're like super thin. They just like, they stick to the bar really easily, and it just makes it easy for me to pull. I don't like all of these like fancy straps that most people pull with that lets them pull a shit ton. And then the last thing I want to say before moving into tomorrow, you'll notice that my training structure is a little bit different right now, and a lot of people have already asked me this. I didn't want to make it like the focal point of the video because I don't think that's necessary, but obviously people are going to be asking, people already know. I am no longer working with Ben and Jason. We ultimately decided that it made the most sense for us not to work together anymore. It was nothing personal. Ben has just taken on a lot of obligations with De Novo, which is a supplement company who I'm a sponsored athlete for. And that's his priority right now in the sport. His passion is working on De Novo, making sure that it takes off. He's doing a lot of traveling, just a lot of obligations, a lot of work to make sure that you guys have the best possible, you know, supplements that you can. There's a lot of things in the pipeline that I've talked with him about, things that I've tried that are just like fucking amazing. So he's working really hard on that. But what happens with, you know, prioritizing that, it took away from him being able to give me the attention I need, and that's totally fair. We had a conversation about it. He was transparent about that being the case, that De Novo will take priority over coaching, and that was it. There's no animosity. Him and I are like still totally best friends. I love Ben, but what that means for my training going forward is I'm going back to coaching myself, and I'm very, very confident in the plans that I have laid out for myself. I think I was very quick to jump the gun on getting back to working with a coach after nationals with how poorly everything went. But I had to remember that my turnaround from getting injured with my meniscus and then also getting an adductor injury along the way as a result of the meniscus injury, those were the confounding variables that if I were to say at the end of the prep, like, oh, I did a shit job programming myself, realistically, that probably wasn't the case. You know, I'm not making excuses. Ultimately, I didn't show up, didn't deserve to be anything other than second place, but I'm just saying that it would be foolish of me to assume that I can't do the job that I know that I can coaching myself. I'm very confident in what I've laid out. It's ultimately the result of the 4 years with Joey and the past 10 weeks with TSG, figuring out what's worked best for me. So I just have this wealth of information that will lead me going forward. And yeah, I'm just super excited to continue to work. Definitely going to be taking a lot more top sets, just trying to build momentum going forward. And I don't know, I've said it, I need to find a meet. I'm definitely leaning towards this May, June time period. I could realistically probably hop into the Arnold if I wanted to. I'm going to be there. I could probably send a request for an invite. It's floating around in my head as a possibility, but I think it's just too soon. So, you know, that's it for Friday. I'm not going to show you any more of my deadlift sets. That first set I think was really, really solid. And then tomorrow I just have Larson presses, which you guys will see. And then I'm also going to be doing those a million bajillion sets of belt squat that I've been showing you guys earlier in the week, except it's going to be at the end of the week now. So that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Saturday video. I originally filmed an intro at the beginning of my workout today on Nico Flores, my good buddy, 74 kilo powerlifter's camera, but he forgot to turn on his microphone. So I'm gonna be doing my intro to this video as a summary of the entire workout. So, like I said, welcome to today's video. Today I did sets of 7 on Larson press with 353 pounds. I did 8 sets of 10 on belt squat, which was not fun, but it's been a weekly thing and it's been getting easier. So at this point, it's just a matter of adding weight every week. And then I did my weighted pull-ups, which you guys will see a couple sets of, which were terrible because I suck at pull-ups. But eventually, Nick, who's sitting in the office, fuck you, I will beat you at weighted pull-ups despite how terribly low they are right now. I think I did it with like 20 pounds for sets of 5. My forearms are roasted coming into today, so pull-ups were not bound to go well. As you guys can hear in my voice, I am not healthy right now. I'm a little bit under the weather. But I made it through the first week of programming myself again. Next week's plan, pretty much repeat the same numbers, but make them move faster, and then we'll start to pick things up in the following week. So just as this was an intro, I'm gonna show you guys videos of everything, and then I will come back and do the outro because I am ready to leave. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a really short one for today. Larson presses were feeling really strong and overall bench is trending in the right direction again, which is great. I'm super excited to attack next week's training. One of my friends and famous, well I guess famous in powerlifting, well-known and very strong powerlifters will be here next Thursday. Xavier knows who he is. You guys don't know yet, but I will make sure that we do a nice little collaboration next Thursday, which is when he will be here. But that is it for the video. I'm gonna head home now, work on some programming. Again, for those of you who are interested in signing up for the Collegiate Guided Program with me and Matt Cronin, the deadline is January 9th, which from the date you guys will be seeing this video will be 4 days. So if we do not receive payment, your weight class, and a link to your Facebook so we can add you to the group, you will not be able to complete this program. But I promise you, this is the best bang for your buck guided program out there. The finishing touches have been made to the programs. What Matt and I are working on now is creating an exercise library for drills and warm-ups that we'll be adding to the group. And yeah, we're really, really excited. We're about 12 weeks out, 13-ish weeks out from Collegiate Nationals. You do not have to be doing Collegiate Nationals to run this program. You just need to be a college student. However, if you're doing Collegiate Nationals, it'll obviously be cool to follow along with all of your teammates at this point. And yeah, we have about 40 people signed up, which is amazing. We really appreciate the support. We're excited to get to work. I'm heading out. That's it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember, no bad days. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be next Thursday, because I'm going to stay on a regular upload schedule. I promise.
Cool.